Okay guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a quick one about materialism and why it's a great thing, but then how much is too much and how to know that. So I was listening to some stuff First Man said about materialism, and I never really thought about it before as a way of life, but I really agree with him. I think it's a really good thing to have. It's a really great way to approach your life. Just to not be only have the absolute necessities. I think most people are in agreement about that. But I want to make this video about how much is too much materialism, because one of the things that I think has been a big improvement in my life is to actually scale up some aspects of my life in terms of purchases where like I actually needed more stuff. So I'll give you an example of clothes. I used to think that, I guess I dress in quite a minimalistic manner, but I used to think that, like, I used to sort of only buy clothes if I thought I really needed them. Which is a good attitude in principle, but it depends what you mean by really need. I mean, you only really need like one pair of clothes to wear about all the time. But is that a good idea if you want to get a decent reaction from the world, from the people around you? No. So like where's the line, And my life's benefited dramatically from just forcing myself to spend more money on clothes, which is effectively a very anti-minimalist thing, because it's kind of, I'm getting more stuff. So I think you got to tread the line carefully between what's too much and too little. By contrast, however, though, I think there are some things where, like the normal line is true, where like, yeah, I need to scale back my consumption of that. So like, I guess it's not really minimalistic exactly, but going out, like once I spent more money on clothes, so it looks better. This is gonna sound really weird. Never heard anyone say this before, but I think it's really true. Once I started spending more money on clothes, sort of look better and improve my self-image, like I didn't really feel the need to get drunk so much, which sounds really weird, right? But like a big part of drinking is like just filling that sort of hole of who you want to be and who you actually are. So if you spend money on something that makes you more full of who you are, then you don't need to drink so much. And yeah, that's kind of what I experienced. So I guess the point of this video is minimalism is good, but it's difficult to know exactly how to, like, you need to spend, sometimes you do need to spend some money, and I don't think it's a horrendous thing if you do, if it improves your self-image. And then often if you spend money in the right way, you won't need to spend money on half the things that you think you do. Like I haven't spent money on alcohol in a bar for ages, because I just don't need, I don't have that sort of need to. I enjoy it when it happens, but like that's an enormous saving, and that's enormous sort of way in which I've sort of improved my life, I guess. But it's been done by effectively sort of being, there's not really an opposite to minimalist, but like I've almost, by being maximalist, if you will, I've bought more stuff, but then I've minimalized my spending and my sort of extravagance of life elsewhere, and I'm happier for it. So I hope you get the gist of this. What I'm trying to say is quite difficult. I think it depends on different people, like different things. But yeah, I just thought it was worth sharing because like investing in yourself is very important, and I think it's very easy to get swirled away by the idea of minimalism, and really, like, if you need a few, you spend, a bit more money here, so you dress better, or like, I mean, the example first man used in one of his videos was like buying a cheese grater was exuberant. And I just thought, like, well, it is until you need to grate some cheese. You know what I mean? So, like if you don't eat cheese, then maybe, but there's kind of like grated cheese. That's like one of the most common ways to eat cheese. And actually, the other thing you said that I thought was just interesting. It's not really related to what I'm saying, but it's just worth mentioning. Is he said that he saw to champagne glasses as a waste of money, because you can just drink champagne out of a mug. And it's funny me saying this because I'm actually quite a fan of drinking things out of mugs that shouldn't be drunk. Like water, I always drink water out of mugs, and people always give me shit for that. But it tastes better. Trust me, like try it. It tastes so much nicer out of a mug. But like I think going back to that, I'm a big believer in the sort of ceremony, especially with alcoholic drinks. I'm a big believer in the ceremony of it. So even though you can physically drink a champagne out of a mug, I think if you have a champagne glass, it's a much more of a ceremony. It's a nice ceremony, and I think you need that kind of stuff especially for alcohol, to just keep it in place, to stop alcohol just becoming a way to escape your reality, and rather like something to be celebrated in its own right. Half the experience of drinking whiskey is having the right kind of glass, I think. And like, if you start drinking out of most people who drink whiskey out of a coffee mug, it's because they're at a party and they're 17 and it's Jack Daniels and Coke, you know what I mean? So I think it's just, you want to avoid seeing everything that's not strictly necessary as just pomp, because it's maybe it's different for different people. I don't know. I mean, I haven't invested in like champagne glasses. That's not something I need, but I hope you get just the point. Anyway, but yeah. I mean, obviously, like, you're gonna have it's gonna lose stuff on your business if you do it too much. So yeah, it is a difficult balance. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys soon.